So here we are. It's August, and this gorgeous Hobonichi, it started in July, but I haven't touched it. Not once. Work has been a whirlwind. Life, well, it's been a bit of a blur. I'm going to be starting my AVAC in August today. It is actually August 1st as I'm filming this, so even that's a little bit late. But nevertheless, we are here, and we're going to set this up for August. Honestly, it feels so good to be back. I have missed writing in this. I've been using my B5 workbook perfectly and keeping on top of that, but that is all content creation, creative life sort of stuff. Whereas this is more of my commonplace everyday life. So if I go out with friends or if there's something I've seen that I like, I want to write about it, and I've not had the chance to do that. And there's been lots of little bits that I do want to write about, so I've missed the Hobonichi. So the first thing I want to do with the Hobonichi is the cover. Now, I've been working on a cover for a long time. I've done the January to June one, but I didn't finish it till like March. But I've now finally finished this cover, which is my July to December. And I've entitled this illustration Summer Falls, because we've got lots of summer sort of ephemera in storytelling here at the back, which then eventually falls into autumn. Because this bit covers all of autumn, majority of summer, and 1 month of winter. So it seemed fitting to do a Summer Falls illustration. Now, you might also notice that there's some little nods that I've taken from the Our Studio cover of this thing, and adding a little quote there. And then also on the side as well, I've added Nookie on the side there as well. And then booknookspirit on the back. So it's very simple in terms of the entire layout, but this illustration took some time. And even now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I could do this bit differently, and these mushrooms a bit better. Maybe the bat a little bit better as well. So I will improve on this, I think, hopefully in time before next year. So all it is literally just a wraparound cover. So it just literally goes on like a typical book cover. Flot it down. I have left a little bit of wiggle room because I expect this to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So as it does, there's a little bit of wiggle room on the cover, and it just simply goes round like that. It just keeps it all nice and gets rid of the horrible blue. Well, actually, I quite like the blue. That blue in this burgundy for some reason doesn't bother me, but the yellow, the yellow. What a Hobonichi thinking, huh? But the other thing I want to put on here is the Our Studio cover, because I love this matte cover. I wish Our Studio would sell these separately, because I would buy them all up. Our Studio, if you're watching, anybody from there, if you'd sell them separately as well as make them B5 as well, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So it just easily slots it on. She says now struggling. Yeah, so again, just a little bit of wiggle. And then that slots on there like that. And then obviously I've got the elements here. So I purposely drew the back there. It kind of needs to go a little bit further down, but that's okay. I can shift that at a later date. But yeah, I wanted to keep these stamps on there as well, because it just gives a lovely extra layer. And as you can tell, there's barely any glossy horribleness. In fact, see, this is how you know I've not touched my Hobonichi. I've not changed the chain, which I'll talk about in a minute. But also, it's still got the other AVAC in there, but can you see how shiny that is? Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to get rid of that shine. So that's the first thing, the cover. So then inside, I haven't done any of the indexing or changing the colour, nothing. I've just kept it as is. I will probably use this first one as an index, as always. This I'm not sure what to do with, because previously I used it for logging my hours, but I now use my B5 for that. So I'm not sure what to do with that. There was a calendar here for June, so I've gone ahead and glued that together because I know I'm not going to use it. I might not even use July's. I don't know whether or not to backfill it or not. We'll see. But then we flip over to August. I've already gone ahead and stuck this massive sticker on here to cover up the blank spaces that we've got for August. But just having a quick talk about July. It's empty. So July is empty. And you know what? That's okay, because this journal isn't about guilt. It's about coming back to myself when I'm ready. July taught me that absence has a place too, and sometimes missing something is proof that it matters. So for August, I kind of have a manifesto in mind. It sounds like a big word, manifesto, but it's actually not. It's just planning with intention, I suppose. So this Mum's manifesto is a reminder of what I'm reaching for, not just productivity, but persistence. So the sort of theme that I was going for, because the colour of August, because I do like to match the Hobonichi colours, that's the other thing with July. So even though I managed to find the perfect colour for July, the Skullkin Blue from Caran d'Ache, I've not used it. Next year. I will do it next year, I promise. So yeah, the colours, I like to match the colours. So August is this sort of like dull, muted navy blue, slight hint of purple. And sort of June to me is kind of like dark forests with sunbeams shining through and all of the nature coming to life. The height of spring, sort of the beginning of summer. And then July to me is all about the beach. And sort of coastal things and all those good stories about that. But then August is kind of a itching for autumn, but still in the heat of summer. So I kind of thought this theme might be quite good to have a nighttime theme of stargazing and understanding constellations, because we can lay out at nighttime and not freeze to death and just enjoy the sky. But not only that, also enjoy the nature around us that's, you know, in full bloom, because it is the height of summer. So that's kind of the theme, is constellations, not just the stars, but how does the dots of life connect? Cheesy, I know. And probably telling stories around the campfire and finding beauty in the shadows, because I kind of have a thing with gothic follies. So I think August is the perfect time to go and explore those and maybe camp out in a couple and just enjoy the nightlife. And then just let yourself bloom in the forest, unbothered and unrushed. That's how I like life. So let's get on with setting up a little bit of the August calendar, because obviously I've put this massive sticker here, but I also like to do other things. So where is the colour that I've managed to match for August? Is this pastel pencil Night Blue 149 by Caran d'Ache. Now if you get this in the Museum Aquarelle Caran d'Ache pencil, it's a different colour. It does not match at all. It's a much lighter blue, but the pastel pencil is basically perfect. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you will know how I've managed to get around the dusty aspect of a pastel pencil, which I'll show you in a second when I just go around the calendar. So always, 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 I like to line out the calendars, go around the borders and depict what exactly is August. So after you've laid your colour down, you just simply go over with a blender pen. Now I'm using this Melts one, but the Tombow blender works just as well. Do I want to go down that way? I don't think I do. I think I want to keep that open a little bit. Normally I would line off here as well, but I'm quite happy with it just like that. So I've got my little sort of intentions that I like, the sort of manifestations and vibes for the month, I suppose you could say. So this month we've got stargazing from crumbling Gothic towers, follies, fireflies flickering like forgotten gods, crackling campfires under darkening skies, petals at their peak, ripe figs, tea brewed in silence, quiet awe in ruins, and nature's wild beauty. So that's the sort of vibe we're going for this month. I just pop my little intentions up there. And I've got my August sticker, which I was going to put there, but I realised now I need to do a different colour. So I mean, I could always, yeah, I could just put it at the top there. And I've also printed some stickers that are stargazing sort of stickers that could fill up some of the calendar spots if I know they're not in use or going to be in use. I thought that was quite nice to do. And then I've changed the colour of them to basically match the night blue and sort of like purples and a little bit of fluorescent pink and fluorescent yellow to really emphasize those stars. So I can use them at a later date. But yeah, none of this is my own designs. It's just I've put a bunch of things together because this year's Hobonichi is basically going to act like my mood board for the themes I want to create next year that will be my own designs. So that's how I'm pretty much using my Hobonichi, as basically like a test run in sort of figuring out the colours and this, that and the other. Wondering whether to put that there. Or maybe my boy. Nah, not that one. That one. Yeah, put that one there. And I've got some constellations that I can just cut up. And just randomly put on different bits. Just to break up the gridness, the squareness. And because I've printed these on washi paper, I can write over them. So if there's a date or something I need to put and I need to write over the top, I can do. It's not a problem. So that's all we're going to do for the calendar spread, which I think is more than enough. So yeah. Then obviously we've got our calendars for the rest of the year. Now, again, I normally use these for logging my hours of how many hours I work, but I've quite successfully been using my B5 for this. So I'm not quite sure what to do with these pages in my Hobonichi. So if anyone's got any suggestions, please let me know. Because I don't really want to repeat information because I think that's going to be a waste. But at the same time, there are so many of these. So it's like I kind of want to use them and not waste them. So please let me know in the comments below if you've got any suggestions on how I could use these. I would love that. So yeah, flipping over there, we've got turning the page. Again, I'm just leaving blank for now. July, we're going to basically ignore for a little while. And then I'm going to head straight to August cover page. This is one of my favourite parts of planning. This quiet, tactile sort of decorating ritual. It's like grounding with colour. So I've gone ahead and printed this wonderful illustration which depicts more of my August theme, because this one's pretty much just about stargazing, whereas this one shows you the camping in the woods, the imagery of the forest in full bloom, and then obviously the night sky. Constellations and campfire stories in bloom, a month woven from starlight and architectural shadows. I've not put any Gothic elements on here. I walk between stone and star, gathering stories, listening to the land, and bloom wildly under the ancient skies. So yeah, I'm getting very poetic in my old age. So yeah, I'm just going to have this as the cover. I'm going to just turn it to the side. And hopefully do this without too many lumps and bumps. Oh wow, I did that with no lumps and bumps. That was quite impressive. Because that's why I did the big one off camera, because I'm like, I need to do this when I'm not nervous on camera. So yeah, no lumps and bumps on there. So nice little cover page there. The thing I want to just add to this is just some colour swatches. Now this pastel pencil might not work on top of the washi paper as well. So this is the other thing that basically inspired this month's theme as well, is that I've got this little creative set from Caran d'Ache by Oliver Jeffries, and I just love the colours that are in here. So it's another thing that's basically inspired the month. I am doing this on camera, aren't I? Got to remember to look at the viewfinder and make sure I'm in thing. So yes, the night sky is very dark, but we're going to lighten it up with fluorescent colours, because why not, you know, why not? Still using and loving my Copic multiliners in the brown colour. Is it brown? Yes, it's brown. So this is the 0.3. I'll just write a little reference of the colours that are going to go throughout the month. And to be honest with you, I'd probably then start and work on top of my stickers and add a little bit of this bright colour that no printer in the world will print. So now that we've basically set up August, the theme for this month, as I've touched upon before, I've decided to entitle Stars in Stone. Imagine forest canopies at night, glowing constellation, old Gothic follies, silhouetted in starlight. The colour palette, deep indigos, dreamy purples, opera pink, accents and flourishes of fluorescent yellow, like stardust or campfire sparks. See, I always like these cover pages because it's like a dedicated page as a kind of mood board for the month. This is where I set the tone, the energy. So now it goes on to the daily pages. So here are a bunch of the stickers that I created, but are not mine. They've come from all sorts of different places. All different sizes that I'll use throughout the daily pages. So yeah, the other thing that I will be using throughout my daily pages is these acrylic stamps. Now these are from Archer and Olive. I don't know if they're still available. These moon phases, I'm not sure where they're from, but I like to use these with gouache rather than stamping ink because I just love the texture of gouache on the Hobonichi paper, aka Tomorrow. And the gouache that I will be using for this month is the gouache 584 Opera, and it is a beautiful colour. So that's what I'll be using throughout the month. So here we are, August begins, and I'm here for it, even if I start late, even if it's imperfect. This little commonplace life book is my way home to myself. A place to wonder, a place to rest, and to remember. So I'm going to go ahead now and do a couple of fill in some of the dailies. So I'll put on some lovely music while I do that. So while I was coming up with the theme for the month, I got really inspired and really into it. And I came up with some music that I think will be fitting for the month, as well as some books and some movies as well. Some recommendations. So I've put down below a Spotify playlist and an Apple Music playlist. They're both the same, it's just I don't know which platform most people use. So whatever platform is your choice, I suppose. But in that playlist, there is Florence and the Machine Ceremonials. I thought that was very ethereal, dramatic, and steeped in gothic romance. Then the next one, that's the Spotify playlist sticker thingy, is Aurora, The Gods We Can Touch. Again, Norse mythology meets night sky wonder with forested nature imagery, sort of. Then the other one, Agnes Odile, Citizens of Glass, minimal, haunting, introspective, perfect for stargazing or journaling. Then we got Sergio Rus, Talk. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. So if you go and check out my playlist, you'll see exactly what they are because he's Icelandic, so I've probably pronounced it wrong and butchered it. But it is ambient, sort of Icelandic post-rock. It feels like lying in a field looking up the stars, I feel. And then we've got Chelsea Wolf, Abyss, dark, gothic, and visceral. Sort of stone vibes emotionally and sonically. And then we've got Groupia, Ruins, sparse piano and ambient textures, great for quiet moments. So I thought they would all fit sort of like the theme, the vibe that I was going for with the month. Now the books, interestingly enough, I was already kind of reading a couple of them, as you can see them here. So the first one that I think I've not read it yet, but I want to, is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. It's a lush sort of folklore Russian tale filled with forest spirits, winter, and old stone buildings. The next one was Weird Sisters by Terry Pratchett. We always love a little bit of Terry Pratchett. Of course, we're talking about stargazing, so witches, moons, and hilarious gothic fairy tale vibes. Equal parts stone and stars. Then we've got the Woodland Forests, the Woodlands and Forest Treasury of Folklore, which I'm currently enjoying because I don't know if anyone remembers, but I do have a special interest, The Free Flows, which is all about forest folklores and follies. So this month's very much fitting into some of those quite well. Perfect reference text for this month's theme, rich in seasonal and mythical lore. Then the next one is, I always have to have a vampire one, which is Empire of the Vampire by J. Christoph. I have the paperback and a beautiful hardback edition of this. I'm rereading it because I'm convinced I missed a lot of it because I started reading the second one and I'm like, wait, I've forgotten bits. So I've gone back to reading the first. This is vampire gothic fantasy with blood, stone cathedrals and moonlight quests. So again, kind of fits in with my theme. The next one I haven't read either, but I want to. is The Secret History by Donna Tart, is it? Tart? Don't you just love my dyslexic brain? While it's not a fantasy, it is dark academia. Atmosphere, ritual, stone settings make it, thematically aligned. Then the next one is Into the Forest by Jan Hagland. It's post-apocalyptic but deeply connected to forest life and isolation, which is kind of not isolation in a bad way, but in a good way. Just, removing yourself and getting a little bit of peace. So those are the books that I recommend for this month and that fit my theme. The other thing is some movies, because we all love a good movie. So the first one is The Secret of Rowan Irish. I've not seen this yet, but someone keeps recommending it to me, and it's about folklore, nature, sea and stone cottages, gentle and haunting. The next one is The Fall, which is something I've just discovered, and it's like an art house sort of movie. It's visually stunning with storybook architecture and emotional storytelling. So I've not watched it yet, but I really want to. The one that I've watched many times is Pan's Labyrinth. Who hasn't? We love this. We have to. It's a darker fairy tale with stone ruins, mythic storytelling, and nighttime wonder. Then The Witch, Robert Eggers. I watched it once, I enjoyed it, but I haven't gone back to it since. So I'm definitely going to have that on my list for this month. It's stark, atmospheric, and rooted in nature and superstition for a darker edge. The other one is A Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It's quiet, starry nights, emotional intensity, and a little bit of romantic melancholy. I don't really go too much towards romantic sort of stuff, but it usually goes hand in hand with sort of like gothic and that sort of thing. And then the last one I recommend, it's been on my to watch list for a long time and I haven't got around to it, so I'm sticking it on this list. It's Only Lovers Left Alive. It's gothic vampires, ancient books, and slow, immersive nighttime beauty. So that is very much on theme for this month. Let me know if you enjoyed me giving you recommendations for movies and books and music to fit the month, and I will to fit the theme of the month, because I'll try and do it every time and create like little lists and playlists for you guys. I quite enjoyed that actually. So what do I want to show you next? Right, let me show you a little bit of how, because if we go back to my cover here, because I have this acrylic stamp with lots of stars that I kind of want to put here and show you how the gouache works. Well, hopefully show you how the gouache works. We miss sort of like this bit out. So all I'm going to do is use the gouache straight from the tube, because with this being the traditional gouache, not acrylic gouache, a dry brush as well, no water, and then just literally paint the stamp. Try not to get too thick, even though I just have, and work quite fast as well, because you don't want this to dry. Flip it round, as always, try and line it up best we can, and then just press a little bit hard. Yeah, that didn't really work, but it's probably because it's so sparse. But now that it's dry, I love the texture of gouache on the page. I don't know why, it feels so tactile. So for my daily pages, I usually split them up. So how I usually split them up is by having these blocks that go from the 0 hour to 8:30. fill this in. Then I have one that goes from 0 to the other hour. To the 3:30, I think it is, yeah. And we just want to draw a line for my margin, because I still like to have my little margin. Yeah, it really doesn't like being used with a ruler. The pastel's like, no, set me free. Yeah, just go over there with the pen. And then again, just go over with the pen to just even out the colour and spread it around a little bit. I have noticed with the pastel pencil, you need to work in one direction, not go back and forth, because it kind of makes the paper pile a little bit, which is not good. Did you give it now? And then also, if you want to clean off your blender pen, you just get a scrap piece of paper and just thingy. It will stain the tip, but that's the name of the game with blender pens. So you can use the Melts one, or the Holbein Melts, or the Tombow water-based. Now these work great for watercolor pencils like Inktense and Museum Aquarelle as well. So you just get a nice solid color like so. Just thinking, do I want to do my line across there like I used to? I can't see why not. Or do I want to? Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Yeah. So I did it 2 lines below, so I still could use this boxes at the top. Let's just go across like that. Okay, so that's how an entry would look. I will be using the fluorescent colours as highlighters and note-taking and things as well, because it just visually draws me back in to reread what I've written. It's a little nifty trick that I've realised all by myself. So now that we've got the August setup done, and this is how we'll be going forward throughout the rest of the month, a beautiful cover, we need our summer cover on here, because even though this is small and nifty enough just to slot in your bag, which is possible, not an issue, I still like to have another cover as well. So August will be the last month for this summer cover. So let's take out last month's Avec, last half of the year, with this lovely yellow and glossy cover. But, you know, very thick and full. Not as thick as some of my other journals, but there's a reason behind that, and I'll discuss that towards the end of the year. These index stamps I won't need anymore, but this guy will just slot in this side. These for the monthly and beginning of August. So now I put a poll on the community tab to vote on which colour which Horono strap you'd prefer on the summer cover, and the votes are in, and you guys decided on the grey, the light grey, which I'm loving. So let's pop that on, shall we? Okay, so that is how the summer setup is looking. Then we open it up to our beautiful cover, and then obviously here I usually have all my stencils. All these things along here. And then whatever stickers I've got available. So yeah. That's how it's looking. The grey is looking quite nice, I have to admit, against the blue and the white. But this is feeling very empty without having a bigger book in here. So, yeah. But yeah, that's how it's looking. So, let me know in the comments below if you guys are getting excited for the Hobonichi season, because I think they're going to start and give us spoiler alerts and things as to what's going to be released this September. I have my fingers crossed for a true autumn cover, and also B5 size notebooks. Very unlikely, but a girl can hope. So let me know in the comments below what you guys are hoping for and what you're excited for, or if you're completely ditching Hobonichi, or what you are intending to use. I'd love to know. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you on the next page. Bye for now.